who is opening up about her turn as Lilith in Blade, the movie we have yet to see on our big screens. So she actually went on the Happy Sad Confused podcast, which is done by oh my god, who's the guy? I forgot who does that. We'll get into Josh Horowitz. That's who does the show. He's been getting all the good interviews as of late. But anyway, so she had joined the cast almost 3 years ago. We still haven't gotten a freaking movie. Kind of like how we still waiting on this second half of the uh Fast X movie, which I don't think is ever going to happen. But Vin Diesel's still trying to hold out hope. But anyway, so she broke her silence on the troubled MCU production, which was originally announced before the multiversal saga even commenced. So at 2019 San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige welcomed Mahershala Ali to the MCU by announcing a new Blade movie. 3 years later, he told fans in Hall H that the reboot would arrive in theaters on November 3rd, 2023. It's December 1st, 2025. Then they went and moved it to September 6th, 2024. And then they moved it again to February 14th, 2025. So look, 2025 is about to be over. And then it was supposed to come out last month, November 7th. We still haven't gotten the Blade movie. So then, after keep changing the date, you changed about 4 times, and you changed directors. Bassam Tariq was supposed to direct. Jan Damon was supposed to direct. Other writers came on board: Stacey O.C. Kofer, Bo DeMeo, Michael Starbury, Nick Pizzolatto, Michael Green, and Eric Pearson have all worked on versions of the script. We still don't have a Blade movie. So now they're saying that Mahershala is still attached. Mia Goth, for all she knows, she's still attached to play Lilith. They said the film was supposed to be taking place in the 1920s. So then they scrapped that idea because remember at one point, oh my god, I forgot the was it Ruth? Oh my god, I forgot her last name. But one of the costume designers who had worked on the film, she also worked on Black Panther. She actually took some of the pieces that they were going to use for Blade and they actually used some of those costumes for Sinners. She said there were some things that they wound up changing and there were other original pieces, but there were pieces that were already created for this Blade movie that she was working on. They gave some of those the wardrobe and stuff over for Sinners. So I don't know what pieces is in that movie that was supposed to be originally for Blade. All we can go by is what they said. They didn't specify, as far as I know, what pieces were used for the situation. But nevertheless, they said that they had plans for Blade to team up with Eternal's Dane Whitman, aka Black Knight, which I believe was supposed to be the part that oh my god, the actor that plays Jon Snow, he was supposed to become that character. So from Game of Thrones, I should say. Some ideas from the past may find their way into the next draft, but who knows if the movie will ever see the light of day. So, as I stated before, Mia spoke to Josh Horowitz on his Happy Sad Confused podcast, and she revealed that she knows of Blade's current what she knows of the status, and said, I mean, I don't know what's going on with that. I think that they want to make it. It's such an important film for them. They're taking their time with it. I really don't have any information. I don't know why it's taken the time that it has. We will see. When the interviewer asked the Frankenstein star about her role and original plans to tell Blade's story in the 1920s, she said, yeah, the furthest it got with me, I auditioned for that. I flew to Atlanta. We had a chemistry test between Mahershala and I. We did a costume fitting and a wig fitting. I was very excited for the direction it was going. It was very cool. Now, she also went on to say Mahershala had such an interesting take on it. It was great. And then it just unraveled from there, unfortunately. And I would really have learned of like where did the unraveling start? Because I'm like 1920, the period vampire piece. Would we be here to want to see Blade in like the 1920s dealing with slavery and all that other stuff? So maybe thinking about it, maybe they scrapped it because Marvel wants to keep their hands clean and they don't want to deal with this idea of oh, now we gotta cover racial themes. We don't want to be accused of being woke. And I was like, you know how a lot of these snowflakes feel whenever you bring up anything that makes them relatively uncomfortable. When you bring up a specific topic that makes them feel uncomfortable, it's you're woke, you're trying to push an agenda, all these other things. What about the fact that, you know what, some of us people of color would like to see someone like that represents us on the big screen. And if you want to tackle some of the hard hitting topics regarding our American history and what someone like a daywalker what would the world be like for a daywalker, a black vampire hunter in the 1920s during like the Jim Crow era? If that was the direction they were going to take, what would that world look like? What would that be like? I mean, yeah, we got a bit what we got with Sinners, and that's a completely different movie. Sidebar: I would love to see Ryan Coogler direct something like a Blade movie, but I know he's busy putting together Black Panther 3. I guess the closest we're gonna get to a Blade-esque type movie would be something like Sinners. But I would love to see what that world will look like, and I'm hoping that this thing gets made. But if since they want to tackle that situation, they could maybe bring it into now, bring it into the future, have a different idea. I would love to see Mahershala Ali still take on this role. I know a lot of people talk about, oh, he's 50 something years old. Okay, and Keanu Reeves is in his 60s, doing action. There's a lot of older men now. If you see this big renaissance, Bob Odenkirk, the guy that did the Sisu movies, because there's two of them. That's why I said movies instead of movie. Um, who else? There was also that I was hearing Josh Brolin's about to do a John Wick S type action film that he's signed on for. So they're going for like more of the older man in action type of situation. And first of all, Mahershala Ali do not look like a man in his 50s. That is black that don't crack. So we can get him in the film and still do the things. He could do a lot of the up close and stuff or as much as he can, but you could throw in a stunt double. First of all, quiet as his cat, Wesley Snipes had a stunt double in the Blade movie. So y'all so yeah, he did a lot of the action, but for the most part, if you really watch, you can see when his double comes in for some of the more complex action stuff. But for the most part, Wesley brought what he brought to the franchise. So it's not that hard to hire a stunt double and have them come in and do all the extreme things. Because even Keanu Reeves, with some of the stuff, he has his double that comes in and does some of the stuff for those movies. And Jackie Chan, 70 years old, they talking about bringing him in for another Rush Hour movie. So age is nothing. And cameras, it's all about movie magic and all those other stuff. So I don't mind if they want to bring in some other things to make it work, just so we can get this, Mahershala Ali to be a part of this. But the question remains: once we finally get this Blade movie made, because I'm sure, like when it comes to the MCU, they want to do more than one movie. They don't want to just do a one and done with Mahershala. How soon between, once you get this movie made, do we get another one? And when will we get an actual Blade movie? We're about to be in 2026. 2026 is literally almost 3 weeks away. And we don't have any idea what's going on with this franchise. If there's a script, when you're going to go into pre-production, have you locked down the locations to shoot and all these other things? How long is it going to take y'all to film this? How long are you going to go into post-production? Once you put the movie together, you have to put away time to do reshoots? If you do certain things, you realize certain things aren't working, you're going to have to bring the actors back to do reshoots. You got to do all of that. Plus, you got to edit the film. You got to find a specific date to release it, the promotion, all the other marketing and everything that goes into it. So it's a lot of work. And it's like, so what, 2027, 2028? Like, what's going on? So I just hate the fact that, you know what? And I keep saying it's like the MCU is in such disarray. They're a mess. They don't know what the hell they're doing over there because they dropped the ball post Endgame. And it's like they're scrambling, trying to figure out a way to get back into the good graces of the public. And I feel like they burned the bridge. And there's still some of us that are holding out for the MCU to really deliver on a lot of, the quality and stuff, and stop taking advantage like y'all did. Y'all was putting out more quality instead of quantity instead of quality. You weren't really giving us a lot of like really good things to watch. You were just throwing stuff out there because Bob Chapek wanted to flood out Disney Plus, which quiet as it's kept. What did Disney Plus need a channel for? Just merge into Hulu. More people watch Hulu than anything. You can just put all your stuff on there and call it a day. But they want us to subscribe to Disney Plus, even though Disney Plus ain't got jack crap over there worth watching. There's nothing on that channel worth watching. I did see for Cyber Monday, they did drop a lot of the prices on the movies or whatever. I think you can actually buy uh Fantastic Four for like $7 or whatever the case is. So they really trying to get y'all coins. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow the price will go up. But nevertheless, you know what? Shout out to you, Mia Goth. Hopefully they get this movie made. I definitely want to see Blade on our big screens. We don't really have a lot of characters that are othered. We don't have any, I don't see any representation in regards of, people of color in the whole superhero genre. It's been a minute since we've had that. It's the same thing like with Simu Liu just come out here recently griping about the fact that the lack of representation for Asian actors. So yeah, we want to see more black action heroes, more black superhero characters on our big screens, on our small screens, or just any kind of representation. I understand during this administration, everybody's scared to come out and post things because, they worried about DEI and all that crap. But it's just like, kill the noise, screw them. If you got an idea, we need to make it happen. So I definitely want to hear from y'all. Even though Mia Goth just spoke on what she could speak on, she didn't really give us much. I mean, what could she? She doesn't really know much of what's going on. It's just I did my fittings. It was supposed to be a go, and then all of a sudden things just fell apart. So I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of what she had to say? And do you think a Blade movie under the MCU will actually see the light of day, or should they just at this point, you know what? Cut your losses, MCU. Go into a co-partnership, kind of like you did with Spider-Man, and let another studio come in and take a crack at it. Or better yet, call David S. Goyer. Um he developed Blade for the big screen. Yes, 2 out of the 3 movies were good, but nevertheless, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I like those numbers. 2 better than 1. 1 bad movie out of 3 is better than 2 bad movies or all 3 of them sucking. But they just making a lot of money. So call up David S. Goyer, let him take a crack at the script and figure out what needs to be done because y'all clearly don't know what the hell y'all doing over there at Marvel. And Marvel, Disney, whatever the hell y'all calling yourselves these days. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.